Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Keith and you're watching Barber's Auto Help. Today I'm going to show you how to remove and install a serpentine belt on an 05 Honda Odyssey 3.5 liter. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, before you guys take your serpentine belt off, it's not a bad idea to draw you a belt diagram so that you know which way the belt is routed, because it's nothing more frustrating than going to put the belt back on and you forgot how the darn thing was ran. So make you a belt diagram kind of like this. As you can see right here, I got my crank pulley, AC, alternator, and power steering, and these are my two tensioner pulleys right here. So next thing you want to do is you want to raise your vehicle on the passenger side in the front here. And by the way, this is not a video showing you how to properly and safely lift your vehicle and support your vehicle. You'll need to find that information elsewhere. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to go into that here, but you want to safely and properly raise your vehicle, and want to get this tire off right here. Be sure to use jack stands and just be very careful. I'm going to take this tire off. Now the next thing you want to do is remove your push rivets to gain access to the crank pulley through this little flap right here. And you got a rivet right there and a rivet right there you'll need to remove. And also there was a rivet down here, it's missing, but you want to take that one out too, and then you can gain access to the crank pulley. Just take your pair of cutters, or people call them dikes also. Just put it right in between that, like so. Just pull the middle part out. Once you get the middle part out, then the whole push rivet comes out just like that. Now I've got my push rivets pulled out, and you can either pull the flap out like that to gain access to it, or if you want to be like me, I fold mine inward. Like this, and just kind of tuck it out of the way a little bit there, and my crank pulley is exposed. It may get in your way a little bit when you're taking the serpentine belt off. Whatever works best for you. If you want to go out, you can go out, and you can go in, whichever way. Or you can take this whole fender apron out if you wanted to and make it easier on yourself. I prefer to do it this way. So now we have access to the drive belt, and now we've got to take it loose, and there's your tensioning, or your automatic tensioner. So you're going to take a 3/4 socket and a socket wrench and place that socket on that little nut right there. Well, it's not really a nut, it's just like a dummy nut. And you're going to turn this tensioner assembly counterclockwise. And it's going to cause that pulley to go that way, and it's going to cause that pulley right there to go that way. There's two pulleys part of this tensioner assembly, and they adjust like that. So when you put counterclockwise torque on that, it's going to loosen the belt. Just slide your belt right off one of those pulleys there. Alright, just put your ratchet right on the head there. And we're going to turn counterclockwise. I'll set this flashlight over to the side here. It's going to take a little bit of force, guys. This little tensioner ain't no joke. Slide your belt off like that. Alright, let's go ahead and get that belt out the rest of the way. Get it all the way out. Once your old belt's out of the way, you can then install your new belt. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and route the belt around my crank, AC, and alternator pulleys, and my power steering pulley, and I'm going to leave the belt off of this part of the tensioner, the top pulley of the tensioner here. And my strategy is to put my wrench on the tensioner bolt right here, or the little fake bolt, if you will, and of course rotate the tensioner, and then I'm going to take that belt and slide it onto that top pulley right there. Okay, we're just going to take our ratchet and snake it down there, get it on that fake nut head there. Alright, and we're going to give it some counterclockwise torque. Now while we're doing that, we're keeping the belt taut right here. And as soon as that pulley gets down far enough, we're going to slide the belt over that pulley. Here we go. Okay, take two. Whew. Alright, take three on this. I employed a little bit of a trick, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. Oh my gosh, we did it. There you go, guys. Woo! Holy moly. This is the setup I had on it. You'll probably find out that you can't use a normal ratchet to get enough torque on that thing to get the tension off of it to get the belt on. So what I did is I took a jack handle here and I slid it over the end of the ratchet, put it on there like that, and that gave me plenty more torque to take the tension off that thing. Also, I made sure that all my ribs on my belts were inside the ribs on the pulleys, and it also helped to move this out of the way here, and I went through here with this hand and maneuvered the belt while I had the ratchet on it like this, and I kind of did it in that motion right there. Sorry I can't get any more visual than that, guys, but I'm sure that will help somebody. Also, guys, I wanted to take a moment and clarify a couple of things for you. This here is a picture of the tensioner assembly out of the vehicle, and you heard me talking about dummy nuts, and once I even called it a dummy bolt. I didn't mean to call it a dummy bolt. I meant to say dummy nut, excuse me. But you see what my left index finger is pointing to right there? That's the bottom dummy nut. There's also another dummy nut on the top, just above your pivot pulley there, which has the pivot bolt that goes through it. You don't loosen that in order to loosen or adjust the belt any. So don't mess with that one. Just concern yourself with the dummy nuts. To take the belt off, I used the bottom dummy nut. To put the belt on, I used the top dummy nut. Well, that's it in a nutshell, guys. Go ahead and check your belt routing. Make sure that your belt is ran on all your pulleys correctly and inside the grooves. Just like on this one right here, you want it directly inside those grooves there, not off to the side, one side or the other. Put your power steering reservoir back in place when you're done there. Also, don't forget, guys, you have to put your flap back in place where you gained access to your serpentine belt, and you have to put your tire back on. Be sure to tighten it up to manufacturer specification. Also, it's not a bad idea to start the vehicle, let it run, and then recheck your serpentine belt routing to make sure it's routed correctly on all the pulleys again. Well, folks, that's it. Please let me know if you have any questions. Just comment down below there. Also, please read the entire description of this video before you attempt this. More very important information can be found there that you need to know. Thanks again for watching, guys.